Have you ever felt like your energy is fading faster than it used to? Like you wake up, go about your day, and before you know it, you're already wiped out. Maybe it's after a walk that used to feel easy, or your joints feel a little stiffer than usual, or your memory feels just a bit foggy, like you're always one thought behind. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you're not alone. And more importantly, it's not just getting older, it might be what's on your plate. You see, as we age, our bodies start to respond differently to the foods we've been eating for decades. That bagel you loved in your 40s, it might be leaving you tired and bloated now. The sweet snacks that once felt like a pick-me-up, they could be stealing your energy instead of giving it. But here's the good news. There are simple, nourishing foods that can actually help you feel better, move easier, and even think more clearly, no matter your age. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to talk about 10 real, powerful foods that your body will thank you for, especially after 60. These aren't fancy or hard to find. They're foods you can pick up at your local grocery store and start enjoying right away. They're low in sugar, low in carbs, and packed with the kind of nutrients that help you feel your best. So if you're ready to stop feeling tired and start feeling strong again, let's get started. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you ate cabbage? I know, it's not the most exciting vegetable on the shelf. It doesn't have the glamour of kale or the trendiness of cauliflower rice. But I'll tell you something. I wish I'd paid more attention to cabbage years ago, because after 60, this humble veggie becomes one of your best allies. Cabbage is loaded with fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, and antioxidants. It supports digestion, strengthens your immune system, and even helps protect your bones. And unlike starchy vegetables like potatoes or corn, cabbage won't spike your blood sugar or leave you feeling sluggish. It has almost zero carbs and absolutely no added sugar. But what really makes cabbage special is how it feeds your gut. As we age, our digestion can get a little more temperamental. Maybe you've noticed more bloating or discomfort after meal. Cabbage helps support the good bacteria in your belly, which in turn affects how well you digest food, how you sleep, and even your mood. A healthy gut makes everything else work better, and cabbage plays a big part in that. And it's versatile. Roast it until it's crispy, shred it into a fresh slaw, saute it with garlic and olive oil. It's easy on your wallet, your digestion, and your body. If there's one old-school vegetable that deserves a second look, it's cabbage. Now let's talk about something smaller but just as powerful. Picture this. You walk into a room and completely forget why you went in there. We've all done it, but when it starts happening more often, it gets frustrating. You might chalk it up to age, but what if part of it has to do with what you're eating? That's where walnuts come in. These little brain-shaped nuts are one of the best foods for supporting memory and cognitive function. They're full of omega-3 fatty acids, the kind that help reduce inflammation in the body and the brain. Inflammation is a sneaky thing. It's behind a lot of what we blame on aging. Joint stiffness, low energy, brain fog. Walnuts help quiet that inflammation down naturally. And they're so easy to add to your day, no prep required. Just a small handful gives you plant-based omega-3s, plus fiber and protein to keep your blood sugar steady and your appetite in check. Ever get those sweet cravings in the evening? Try a few walnuts with a cup of tea. They satisfy you without the sugar crash that comes from cookies or cake. What I love about walnuts is that they work quietly in the background. They don't shout for attention, but they do the job. Sprinkle them on Greek yogurt, toss them in a salad, blend them into a smoothie, or just eat them plain. They're a simple, natural snack that supports your brain, your heart, and your future. Now, I want to shift to something green. Yes, another vegetable, but stay with me, this one's like nature's energy booster. I'm talking about spinach. Maybe you've had it steamed and soggy on the side of a dinner plate, not exactly thrilling, right? But spinach, when you look past the way we used to cook it, is an absolute powerhouse. It's packed with vitamins A, C, and K, which are crucial for your eyes, your immune system, and your bones. It's rich in iron, which helps deliver oxygen throughout your body, giving you the stamina you need for the day. And it's loaded with magnesium, which helps regulate your blood pressure and support your muscles and nerves. Here's the kicker. All of those benefits come with practically no carbs and zero sugar. It's clean fuel, nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't give you that tired, bloated feeling. It just helps your body do what it's meant to do. And it's easy to add in. Toss it into your morning eggs, blend it into a smoothie, saute it with garlic for dinner, or mix it into soups. It cooks fast and blends into just about anything. Think of spinach as your daily dose of vitality, not in pill form, but straight from nature, just the way your body likes it. Now, speaking of things your body likes, have you ever tried plain Greek yogurt? Not the flavored kind with the fruit at the bottom, but the thick, creamy, no sugar added kind, because that little tub of yogurt might just be your gut's best friend. Here's the thing. A lot of yogurts these days are sneaky. They look healthy, but they're loaded with sugar. That's the last thing we need after 60. But plain full-fat Greek yogurt, that's a different story. It's packed with high-quality protein, which is absolutely essential as we get older. Muscle loss isn't just about looking toned. It's about balance, strength, and independence. Protein helps preserve that muscle and keeps you feeling full and steady throughout the day. And then there are the probiotics. These are the friendly bacteria that help your digestion stay regular and balanced. If you've been feeling bloated, irregular, or just a little off after meals, Greek yogurt can help reset things. It's gentle, satisfying, and deeply nourishing. The healthy fats in full-fat yogurt also support your brain and your hormones. They keep your skin looking healthy from the inside out. Just make sure to skip the flavored versions. Stick to the plain kind and dress it up yourself. Add a few crushed walnuts, a sprinkle of cinnamon, maybe a drizzle of olive oil if you like savory. You'll be amazed how satisfying it is once your taste buds adjust. It's funny how the simplest things like yogurt, spinach, cabbage, and walnuts can make such a big difference. They don't shout superfood from the rooftops, but they quietly support every system in your body. And that's exactly what we need more of as we age. Foods that work with us, not against us. Let's keep going, because there's another food I want to tell you about. It comes in a little can, smells a bit fishy at first, and gets overlooked all the time, but it might just be one of the most powerful foods you can eat after 60. Now, before you turn your nose up at the idea, hear me out. I used to avoid them too. The smell, the texture, the fact that they came from a can, it just didn't appeal to me. But once I gave them a real shot, I realized I had been missing out on one of the most nourishing, healing foods for older adults. Sardines are little powerhouses of nutrition. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, the same ones we talked about with walnuts, but in even higher amounts. These healthy fats are your body's natural anti-inflammatory. If your knees are creaky in the morning or your fingers feel stiff when you get out of bed, inflammation might be the culprit. Sardines help calm that down gently, without needing medication. And it's not just your joints. Omega-3s also support brain health and memory. Think of it like oiling the gears in your mind. Everything starts to move a little smoother, a little clearer. You start remembering names more easily, staying focused longer, and feeling sharper overall. But here's the bonus that surprises most people. Sardines have soft, edible bones that are full of calcium and vitamin D. That's right, the bones are safe to eat, and they're one of the best natural sources of the nutrients your bones need to stay strong and fracture-free. After 60, we all know how important it is to protect our bone density. Sardines help you do that naturally and affordably, and if you're worried about toxins like mercury, good news, because sardines are small and low on the food chain, they don't accumulate those heavy metals the way larger fish like tuna do. That means they're a clean, safe option you can enjoy without worry. You don't have to eat them straight from the can either. Try mixing them with mustard, lemon, and olive oil and spreading that on a piece of crisp lettuce or low-carb toast. Toss them into a salad, add them to a zucchini noodle bowl. There are so many ways to enjoy them once you get used to the idea, and the payoff is absolutely worth it. Speaking of nutrition-packed food that's been misunderstood for far too long, let's talk about eggs. Yes, good old-fashioned eggs. For years people avoided them because of cholesterol concerns, but now we know that for most folks, Eggs don't raise blood cholesterol in the way we once feared. In fact, they might be one of the most complete, perfect foods you can eat, especially after 60. Each egg is filled with high-quality protein, and not just any protein, the kind your body knows how to use. It helps you build and maintain muscle, keeps your metabolism running, and gives you lasting energy. You've probably heard me say this already, but it's worth repeating. Maintaining muscle mass is one of the most important things you can do as you age. It protects your balance, your mobility, and your independence. But that's not all eggs bring to the table. They're rich in choline, a nutrient that supports brain health and memory, something many seniors don't get enough of. If you've ever felt mentally sluggish or had those forgetful moments, your brain might just be asking for a little more choline. And let's not forget the yolk. That's where the magic is. It's loaded with vitamin D for bone health, vitamin A for your eyes and immune system, and B vitamins that support energy and nerve function. The whole egg works together like a tiny natural multivitamin. What I love most is how easy they are to prep: scrambled, boiled, poached, made into an omelette with veggies, you name it. Add a little olive oil or butter, some sea salt, maybe a sprinkle of herbs, and you've got a meal that fuels your body without the crash or the sugar spike. So please, don't skip the yolk. Don't buy into the old myths that said you had to. Nature packaged everything you need right there in one little shell. Now, while we're on the topic of healthy fats, I can't leave out one of my absolute favorites, extra virgin olive oil. They call it liquid gold for a reason. It's been a staple in Mediterranean diets for centuries. And when you look at the long, healthy lives of the people in those regions, it's no coincidence. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fat. These are the heart-friendly fats that help support healthy cholesterol levels and protect your cardiovascular system. After 60, heart health becomes even more important, and olive oil gives you a gentle, natural way to care for your heart with every meal. But the benefits go deeper. Olive oil is full of antioxidants, specifically polyphenols, that help reduce inflammation throughout your body. That means less joint pain, more mental clarity, and better overall mobility. You may not feel it overnight, but with consistent use, olive oil quietly works behind the scenes to support every system in your body. And here's a fun fact: those healthy fats in olive oil actually help you absorb more nutrients from the other foods you eat. So when you drizzle olive oil over your spinach, cabbage, or grilled fish, you're not just adding flavor, you're increasing the nutritional impact of your entire meal. The key is choosing the right kind. Look for extra virgin, cold-pressed, and ideally packaged in a dark glass bottle to protect it from light and heat. A good olive oil should smell a little grassy and taste slightly peppery. That's how you know the antioxidants are still alive and well. Use it generously, but wisely. A tablespoon or two a day can make a real difference. Cook with it, dress your vegetables with it, even take a spoonful straight if you like. It's one of those foods that feels indulgent, but is working hard to keep you feeling young and vibrant. And speaking of nourishing foods that often get overshadowed, let's talk about chicken thighs. That's right, not the lean breast everyone always talks about, but the flavorful, juicy thigh. For years we were told to avoid dark meat, but the truth is, chicken thighs are one of the most underrated sources of protein and nutrients for people over 60. Chicken thighs are easier to chew, more flavorful, and often more affordable than chicken breasts. And when you leave the skin on and the bone in, you're getting even more nutritional value. That extra fat. It's not something to fear. After 60, your body actually benefits from having a little more healthy fat in your diet. It supports your joints, fuels your brain, and helps keep your hormones in balance. Chicken thighs are rich in protein, of course, but also in zinc and iron. These are minerals that help support your immune system, your energy levels, and your body's ability to heal. Zinc, in particular, is something many older adults don't get enough of, and it plays a big role in maintaining resilience. And let's be honest, they just taste better. When cooked right, crispy skin, tender meat, they satisfy you in a way that bland, dry chicken breast just does. And here's the best part. You don't need sugaries or breading to make them taste great. Just a little olive oil, some salt and pepper, maybe a few herbs, and into the oven they go. There's something comforting about a home-cooked piece of chicken. It feels familiar. It brings back memories of Sunday dinners or family meals. And in a world that often feels rushed and noisy, meals like that ground us. They remind us of what matters and that taking care of yourself doesn't have to be complicated. All it takes is a few simple, real foods and a little intention. Let's keep going, because there are still a couple more foods I want to share with you. One of them is creamy, green, and surprisingly filling. The other comes from the sea and might be the best thing you can do for your brain right now. You guessed it, avocado. Now, if you're someone who grew up hearing that fat was the enemy, I understand why you might be skeptical. For decades, we were told to cut out fat, avoid butter, skip the creamy stuff, but we now know better. The truth is, not all fats are bad. In fact, some fats are essential, especially as we get older. An avocado is one of the best sources of healthy fat you can put in your body. It's smooth, it's satisfying, and it's packed with monounsaturated fats, the kind that support your heart, lower bad cholesterol, and help keep your arteries flexible and healthy. After 60, cardiovascular health becomes a bigger focus, and avocados give you a simple, natural way to protect your heart without relying on medications or complicated regimens. But there's more to this fruit, and yes, it's a fruit, than just heart benefits. Avocados are high in potassium, even more than bananas, and potassium plays a crucial role in keeping your blood pressure in check and your nerves functioning smoothly. It also supports muscle function, which, as you know by now, is key to maintaining strength and independence as we age. Another thing I love about avocados is how they help keep you full without the crash. With their mix of healthy fats and fiber, they stabilize your blood sugar and help you avoid those mid-afternoon slumps or late-night cravings. They're one of the best ways to feel satisfied naturally without reaching for something sweet or processed. And they couldn't be easier to use. Just slice one open, sprinkle on a little sea salt, maybe squeeze a bit of lemon or olive oil, and eat it right out of the shell. You can mash it onto a piece of low-carb toast, dice it into a salad, or turn it into a creamy dip. However you eat it, your body will recognize the nourishment and put it to good use. Now, I saved one of the best for last. If there's a food that feels like it was designed specifically for folks over 60, it's this one: wild-caught salmon. Not the farm-raised kind that's been pumped full of stuff you don't want. I'm talking about the real deal, salmon that's been raised in cold, clean waters. You can taste the difference, sure, but more importantly, your body can feel the difference. Wild salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and these aren't just nice-to-haves, they're essential nutrients that your body can't produce on its own. You have to get them through food, and the older we get, the more critical these fats become. They support brain function, reduce inflammation, improve mood, and help protect your heart. Let's talk about the brain first. If you felt forgetful, scattered, or just not as sharp as you used to be, salmon might be your best friend. Omega-3s reduce inflammation in the brain and help maintain the structure of your brain cells. It's like giving your mind a little tune-up every time you eat it. Then there's joint health. That creaky knee or stiff shoulder you've been dealing with, chronic, low-level inflammation is likely behind it. And while there's no magic cure, salmon is one of the most powerful natural tools we have to reduce that kind of inflammation from the inside out. Add in the fact that salmon is a rich source of high-quality protein that helps repair tissue, preserve muscle, and keep your energy up, and it becomes clear why this fish earns its reputation. Plus, it contains astaxanthin, the antioxidant that gives salmon its pink color. This compound helps protect your skin from aging, supports eye health, and even boosts your immune system. And the best part, salmon is delicious. Whether you pan-sear it with lemon and herbs, roast it in the oven with garlic and olive oil, or flake it over a salad, it's a meal that feels indulgent, but works hard behind the scenes to take care of you. Now, I know we've covered a lot today. From the humble cabbage to the mighty salmon, each of these 10 foods has something unique to offer your body at this stage of life. And while you don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight, starting with just 1 or 2 of these can make a big difference. Because here's the truth, it's never too late to feel good in your own skin. You don't need to be in perfect health to feel better. You don't need expensive supplements or a complicated meal plan. What you need, what we all need, is a few real, whole foods that work with our bodies instead of against them. Foods that give you energy instead of stealing it, that nourish you instead of dragging you down. Maybe for you that means starting the day with scrambled eggs and spinach, or swapping out your usual snack for a handful of walnuts. Maybe it's trying sardines for the first time, or just being more generous with your olive oil at dinner. Whatever it looks like, every small step matters. So if any part of this resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. What's one food on this list that you're excited to try, or maybe one you already eat and love? Leave a comment below. I read every single one, and your stories genuinely inspire me and others in this community too. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more ways to feel strong, clear, and energized at any age. We're building a community here of people who aren't just getting older, they're living better, stronger, smarter, with intention and care. Here's to meals that heal, foods that fuel, and days that feel just a little bit lighter. You deserve to feel good, not someday, but today. Let's make it happen, one bite at a time. Here's to living your best life at any age. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.